Now on Spreaker Online and Podcast Radio we have live cricket commentary. Here with the teams, scores and descriptions of play is Matthew James Erskine.
Hello and welcome back here to Priors Flat, and Tynedale have taken up the chase here. They need 170 to win off their 50 overs at just under 3.5. And they're 5 for no wicket at the moment, with Tom Cant and Dan Parker up there at the crease for the home side. So 2 slips in the gully as Gibson's in to Cant, and he just lets this one go outside the off stump through to wicketkeeper Andrews, who's the only one of the Shotley Bridge fielders not wearing the green cap. And Cant just rocks back in his crease there and has a little look around. So we've got 2 slips, a gully, a backward point, and an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a mid-wicket. In comes Gibson now, and an attempted cut shot there from Cant, and he plays and misses outside the off stump. There's a wide one there, a wider one from Gibson, and Cant just didn't get his eye onto that one. And it went through, and Andrews took it cleanly behind the stumps. So here we go, 5 for no wicket. Cant falling it out. Parker yet to score. Parker the left-hander, but here's Gibson again now, charging towards us here, and he's going to bowl to Cant, and that one gets a bit of bounce from a good length, and Cant just shapes the plate, then lets it go outside the off stump through to Andrews, the wicketkeeper, and then proceeds down to do a bit of he doesn't do any gardening there, he just has a look. The pitch rolled between the innings here and the tea interval, remarked as well, and Cant, the right-hander, just settles himself in again. So here he comes now. Here's Gibson, bowls to Cant, and he's edged it, and it's come past second slip, wide of second slip, and it'll come for 4 up here at the third man boundary. It was a fast ball, quite full as well, and it nipped back into him, and he had to jam the bat down rather, and he edged it, and it came through wide of the slip. That was looks like it's Patterson in there. No, it's Greenwell at second slip there. He's got his back to us at the moment, but so he gets away with that one, Cant, and he gets 4 runs for it. So he's gone to 8. The total's gone to 9 for no wicket. And here's Gibson bowls to Cant again outside the off stump. Good length, but Cant able to let it go through, and there's no run. It goes through to the keeper Andrews, and that's the end of the over. So there we go. The deficit now 161 for Tynedale to win. 161. And they'll have 50 overs to do it in. So good afternoon if you've joined us here for the 5 o'clock broadcast here on Spreaker Internet Radio and Cricket West Tyne programme. We're just about to watch Mickey Allen take up the attack again. Now he opened the bowling for these two, opened the bowling, Allen and Gibson. They'll have May in reserve. He may come on next. And Phillips as well. But here's Allen over the wicket now, goes to Parker, the left-hander, who drives it back. And he just hits that one to mid-on there. And that's Ross Burden who's fielding at mid-on, and he picks it up, and there was no run there. Still 9 for no wicket. We've still got all the spectators here. Sunny afternoon. Just a bit of thin cloud going about now, and 1 or 2 thicker patches out there to the east of us and away up on the fells. But here's Parker, the left-hander, with 2 slips and a gully from Allen, and that one's a fast one, and again it gets some lift, and it goes through to the wicketkeeper, and there's no run outside the off stump that time. Parker just, again, he shaped the play, look at that one to play, but he took the bat round the back of him to get it out the way there, and there was no run, so still 9 for no wicket. 161 the deficit. Now here's Mickey Allen again. Goes off, charges in and bowls over the wicket again. Just short of a length this one. But again, it bowled outside the off stump, and Parker able to leave it alone through to the wicketkeeper Andrews. So we've got 2 slips at the top end there. We've got a gully, quite a deep point, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on and a mid-wicket. Between point there and extra cover, there's a nice gap, a tasty looking gap for Parker if he can get it away that way. As Allen's in the ball again, and he plays and misses at that one this time. Just a little bit closer to him, and Allen didn't move on the crease, but he bowled a good length and a better line this time, and Parker had to arch forward at that one, but it went past the edge through to Andrews, the wicketkeeper, and again there's no run. So 170 for Tynedale to win. Shotley Bridge 169 for 9 in the first innings here. Now here's Parker facing Allen again, who's in and bowls short outside the off stump again, and Parker easily lets that one away through, watches that one by, and it goes through to Andrews, and there's no run. And May has the ball now down at this end. He just looks a little bit moving quite slowly, just taking in the day here this afternoon. Tim May, and I think the sight screen's on the move now for Parker, the left-hander, down at this end, just out of sight to our left here. We're in the clubhouse down behind long off for the left-hander, and we've got still 2 slips, and it looks to it's taking a little while longer than it might have, but I think it's in place now, as Cabbage White Butterfly just makes its way across towards the main gates there. As Allen's in to bowl to Parker again, who it's bowled outside the off stump, and Parker leaves it alone through to the wicketkeeper Andrews, and there's no run. So 5 overs gone now. 9 for no wicket Tynedale. The deficit still stands at 161. Kant has 8 and Parker's yet to score. Parker opening the batting now for the 3rd consecutive game here. Tom Canty only needs another 31 runs to reach 4,500 for Tynedale, and he's got 8 of them at the moment, so he's down to 23. He needs to get to that target. So it's Gibson who takes up and bowls to Kant outside the off stump again, and he leaves it alone, and it comes through here to Andrews, the wicketkeeper. The sun's gone in now, a little bit more clouds come across here, but we've still got the strong breeze. The trees up behind the scoreboard there at the top left of the ground, blowing about manically. And so we've got 2 slips, a gully, orthodox point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on and a mid-wicket, as Gibson bowls to Kant again, who's back in his crease this time, and just taps the ball down square, and it runs out on the bounce to point there, and there's no run. And that looks like Jack Rowley, who's fielding in at point. Just tell by the figure there. He'll be a left-arm spinner. He'll no doubt get a look into the action later on, as Gibson again now to bowl to Kant, and that's turned round the corner towards fine leg here, and it's fielded. No, it's gone for 4. There's no fielder up there at the moment. Oh, it went fine enough that there wasn't, but it was 4 runs, so the score goes to 13 and Kant moves to 12, and that takes it down now to 157, the deficit for Tynedale to win, and we're in the 6th over here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got everybody inside the circle now, as in comes Joe Gibson again and bowls to Kant outside the off stump, and Kant has a swing at that one on the front foot, and he plays and misses, and it comes through here to Andrews, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. And the ball up there on the offside now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the offside. And here comes Gibson again now, and that's pulled this time, and it's nicely stopped on the ground there in at mid-wicket. And there's no run. Kant, it held up, was short of a length that one, and it did bounce right up, but it was going, it just dug in and came up slow enough for Kant to pull that one, but he just misdirected it in there to the fielder at mid-wicket. And here's Gibson again now, moving in and bowling to Kant, who goes back again this time, and it's another wide one, and Kant again tries to chop it down and cut it away, but he misses, and it comes under the bat through to Andrews, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run off the last ball there, and that is the end of the 6th over. 13 for no wicket Tynedale. The deficit now down to 157 to win, as they chase Shotley Bridges 169 for 9 in the first innings here at Priors Flat this afternoon. And Allen there was down at fine leg. He couldn't stop that ball down. I think it must have come a little bit finer than I could pick out from up here in the clubhouse. But he's about to bowl again now, and he's going to bowl to Parker now. There's a fine leg in place now, and that's Gibson as Allen's in over the wicket, and Parker just pushes this one up towards the square leg boundary. There's runs here, they're coming back for 2, a nice sliding stop, and Parker will have to run here, but he gets in safely enough for his 2 runs there, and he's off the mark at last, the left-handed opener for Tynedale. So 2 to his name. The score goes to 15 for no wicket, and the deficit comes down to 155. And Parker it is again now, who's taking his guard. Allen with the ball at the end of his run. Lost the sun completely now here at Priors Flat. Bowls on the stumps this time, and Parker's forward, driving down and on the offside, up towards us here, and it's May who fields it in there at Dibish mid-off. So the field here, we've got 2 slips, gully still, we've got point there, we've got an extra cover, a deep mid-off, a deepish mid-on, that's Burden, and a mid-wicket and a fine leg. Allen again bowls to Parker, and he's on the crease this time, playing square. Out there to Rowley, who picks it up at point, and there's no run. Parker, it was a good ball, and it was a good length. It wasn't so too full, it was actually just the right length, because Parker shaped to come forward and had to quickly readjust there and just opened the face on it when he hit that shot. But here's Allen again now with the ball in hand. Runs up past umpire Allen and bowls to Parker. Again, this one's on the stumps, and Parker just defends it out to the offside this time, and it's picked up in there with extra cover off the ground, and there's no run. It's 15 for no wicket. 7th over here of the reply. Maximum of 50 for Tynedale to chase this target down of 170. And here's Allen again. He just gets the ball and is walking back to his run, and he just drops it there as he walks back. He's had to pick it up. So here he goes now. And he runs. Bowling to Parker with 2 slips, and Parker on his toes this time, and takes that one down nicely from above the off stump there, and it just bounces into the ground. It's fielded in the gully, and there's no run. And here's Allen again. He's down back at this end, just gets the ball now off May, and he's turning at the end of his run now. A few of the Shotley spectators over by there by the tennis courts, and Allen bowls to Parker, and he drives, and it's was that in the air for a bit? I think it bounced just in front of the fielder. Did it there? Yes. Parker survives that one. It was a loose drive. It was another fine ball from Allen, just slanted across the left-hander, and he drove, and it was in the air for just a little while, and I saw it about 5 or 6 yards from the bat in the field. That was a good stop in the gully there, and Parker survives. And that was the end of the over. Yeah, 7 gone now, 15 for no wicket. 155 the deficit for victory for Tynedale to get here, as Gibson now bowling to Kant with 2 slips in the gully, and Kant leans back and plays back up to Rowley there at point, and there's no run, and Kant just holds his bat above his shoulders there, and he's just watching for Gibson, who's wandering back to his mark. There's a couple of scores here. Swalwell all out for 90 in their match versus Concert. My correspondent here calls it a minefield. I know Linz were all out for 35 in their game against Ashington as Gibson bowls again to Kant outside the off stump, and Kant lets this one through to Andrews, the wicket keeper, and there's no run. And we've still got the 2 slips, a gully, a point, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a mid-wicket, and a fine leg. As Gibson's up there at the end of his mark now. And here's Gibson again bowling to Kant again outside the off stump, and Kant leaves it alone again. And it comes through to Andrews, who takes it nicely and throws it to his captain Greenwell there, who gives the ball a good polish on his right thigh, just seeing the start of the red mark there appearing on the white trousers of Greenwell, with his cap slightly in an upward fashion, wearing it slightly jauntily, not to one side though, the peak of it just turned up. And here's Gibson bowling to Kant. The slips go down, and Kant edges, and he's dropped. Is it dropped in the gully? And it's down on the floor. And I'm sure that there was oohs and ahs out there, and whether it came or whether it didn't just carry there, I think it was a dropped catch though in the gully there. So Kant survives on 12. And it's 15 for no wicket still. The deficit's still at 155. Now here's Gibson again, coming in to bowl to Kant, 2 slips in the gully. Kant drives this time, he's got it, a nice stop, a diving stop there and an extra cover. And it was a good shot as well, but excellently fielded there in the covers. So no run again to Kant. He's been at this end quite a while now. And he just has a little look around the field. He's just eyeing that gap up again there between point and extra cover. It's about 18 or 19 yards wide up towards the house end. But here's Kant again now, facing Gibson, and he comes forward and it hits him on the pad, and there's all sorts of appeals from behind the stumps, but Gibson the bowler didn't go up, and that's why not, because Kant got some bat on that through square leg there, and that's the end of the 8th over. Kant moves to 13, the score goes to 16 for no wicket, and the deficit for Tynedale now comes down to 154. And it's going to be Kant. He's pinched the strike up at that end, so he'll take the next ball. Parker, I don't think will be too worried about that. It's going to be Mickey Allen again. Just gets the ball off Burden there. Umpire Allen just takes his jumper and cap. He's just got his shirt on and his sunglasses today. Shirt sleeve order for Umpire Allen. Now in goes Mickey Allen over the wicket, bowling to Kant, who comes back, and he's going to be out here. Is it going to be there? Has he got it? No, it's gone down. It's dropped. And that's spooned up off the bat. It was right at him, right in the midriff there, and Kant was squared up. It shot up in the air, slightly to the offside. Mickey Allen, the bowler, and a couple of others were after it, and it's gone down. I think he got a hand to it, but he's more or less ran right up to the other end there. He's just short of the crease line at the top end of the pitch, just slightly out towards cover point when he tried to attempt to catch that. So I believe that's 3 times Kant's been put down. Now that was a difficult chance, probably the most difficult one of the lot, running forward there from Allen, but twice in 2 overs now. It's gone down, and Kant's having a look today. He's survived on 13 this time. It's 16 for no wicket. And here's Mickey Allen just taking one or two, a breather here, because I think diving forward there's knocked the wind out of him. He's just recovered now, so he sets off again to bowl to Kant. 2 slips in a gully. Kant turns this one round the corner, and Nadler's runs, and it might be 4. Nicely timed from Kant up behind, backward of square, up there towards the house end, and 4 to Kant, so that relieves a bit of the tension with those couple of drops. So he's gone to 17, the score goes to 20 now, and the deficit for Tynedale to win comes down to 150. So still no sun. The sun hasn't returned yet, but we've got some marshmallow looking thin clouds up in the sky. Just thin wisps, but there's a lot of them up there, and as Allen is about to go into bowl again. In he goes. He bowls driven, edged, over gully, up for fourth, third man this time. And just as Kant scores that one, Sam Mannion appears in the ground here. He's not playing today. He injured his hand a fortnight ago. He's just walked across in front of us down here. And Kant, it was a good length ball and it was there for driving, but Kant, he went at it hard, and it's probably best he did because it shot high over the head of gully there and up to the boundary just to the right of the scoreboard, up at third man. So 4 more to the total. That brings the deficit down to 146 now for Tynedale to win. Kant's moved to 21. So changing the field here, we've got a deep square leg in now. And in goes Allen to Kant and bowls outside the off stump, and it goes through to Andrews, the wicket keeper. Kant leaves that one alone, so we've got 2 slips now, a gully, a point, an extra cover, a mid off, a mid on, a fine leg and a deep backward square leg. And the most extraordinary gap between the field here, with May at a very straight mid on, right the way around to deep backward square there. So Allen moves in again now, bowling to Kant. Kant drives this time, and where's it gone? It's an inside edge, and it's gone up to fine leg. So it was a full ball, and Kant went to drive at it, and for a moment he was unsighted himself. He didn't know where on earth it had gone. It seemed he was aiming out here to the leg side. In front of square, but it hit the inside edge and flew between him and the stumps up to fine leg there for a single. So the score goes to 25 for no wicket now, and Kant's moved to 22, and the deficit now has come down to 145 for Tynedale to win. In goes Allen again, bowling to Parker this time, and that's taken an edge, and there's a chance of a catch there, is there? No. And umpire Allen must have hit the pad there and ballooned up into the gully, and it was caught. I think it was Greenwell who caught it there in the gully, but umpire Allen doesn't agree with the appeal there, and that's the end of the over. It was a funny one, that really. The first appeal from Allen before he slipped over was for LBW, but then it ballooned up, and then there was half an appeal for the catch. But I think in heart of hearts, the Shotley fielders knew that one hadn't hit the bat. But the new over about to begin here. 25 for no wicket. Kant on strike 22. Parker 2 not out up at the top end. And here's Gibson now, just turns. Now in he comes towards us here, bowling to Tom Kant outside the off stump, and it's cut for 4. A nice shot there from Kant. It was wide, slightly short, and didn't have much pace about it. And Kant was onto it in a flash, and he kept it down, flew past the right hand of Rowley in there at point, and up to just in front of the house end there for a boundary. So 4 more to the total. 29 for no wicket now. Kant's moved to 26. The deficit's come down to 141 as Gibson's in again to bowl to Kant, this time on the stumps, and Kant just turns this one into the ground, and it rolls out there and is fielded over at mid-wicket, and there's no run. Kant just backs off away towards square leg there to have a little look round. And the sun, a glimmer of sun just coming out. We've still got the breeze, although it might have dropped just a little fraction, going by the trees up there by the scoreboard. And the tree just in front of the house end there, as Gibson comes in again now and bowls, and it's pulled away. Another 4 from Kant. 2 bounces into the advertisement boards down there at the tennis courts to the left. Through square leg there, just in front of square. Umpire Allen there didn't have to move. In fact, he hasn't moved yet. He's holding one arm up, but he's holding the elbow there, and he saw that one right from the bat, and he hasn't moved for about 30 seconds. So there we go. 4 more to the total. 33 for no wicket now. And Tom Kant has moved to 30, and the deficit's come down to 138 now for Tynedale to win. Gibson's in again and bowls short, and it's driven off the back foot. A lovely shot there from Kant, and there's another boundary just in front of square, this time on the offside, away up to in front of the house end, and it's gathered by a kind spectator up there to stop the ball rolling away into the car park. So Kant is finding his touch here. 34 not out now, 37 for naught. 37 for no wicket, Tynedale. The deficit's come down to 134. 133, I beg your pardon. And here's Gibson again, bowls to Kant, and that one's a better line and length, and it stays quite low, and Kant just eases it square up to point there, and there is no run. And we've got a very happy spectator in here, because we've got Jessica is watching her dad bat, and she's just done a big yawn there. And now she's having a little laugh as well. Baby Kant watches on as her dad bats here, Tom, and he tries to drive a full ball, and it goes out to the offside, and it's fielded, and there's no run, and that's the end of the over. 37 for no wicket now. Tynedale, Kant 34, Parker 2, and the deficit down to 133 to win now for Tynedale. And we've had 10 overs so far. And Kant, we might as well mark it at the end of the over there. He's now passed 4,500 runs for Tynedale in his career here at the club. So well batted to Kant, to Tom Kant. He's 11th in the all-time batting list for Tynedale. He's got a bit to go yet before he catches up to the next man on the list, who the name has just gone out of the of my mind at the moment, but Mickey Allen to take up the attack. He's in now, bowls to Parker, and he plays this away. There's runs here running up towards the tennis court. They've got 2. Is it running for 4? A nice sliding stop down there, and they get 2 as the ball comes flying in from up to the wicketkeeper's end there at the top end, and it's 2 more to the total. 39 for no wicket now, Tynedale. Parker has moved to 4, and the deficit comes down to 131 as Allen has the ball again. In he goes, bowling to Parker, this time about a middling leg, and Parker just smothers this one down, and it runs out there in front of square on the leg side over towards the tennis courts, and it's fielded quickly, and there was no run. Allen just gets the ball back now. He's going over the wicket to the left-handed Parker. 131 the deficit now as Allen charges up now past the umpire and bowls to Parker again. He just opens the face on this one, and it runs out on the bounce there to Greenwell in the gully, and there's no run as Allen gets the ball back, and he just makes his way towards the end of his mark. And it is Allen again to bowl now. 39 for no wicket, Tynedale. And he just gets the ball, and he's on his way now, running away from us here. Up he goes past the umpire and bowls to Parker, who comes forward and tries to push out straight there, but it just slides off the face out up to point there, and it's fielded off the ground, and there is no run as May has it down at this end now. And Parker at the crease. He's 356 runs for the season, 12 innings so far, 116 his highest score. The left-hander now, here he goes, faces Allen again, who bowls outside the off stump, and that's a better line. That was slanted across him and just perhaps moved off the pitch a fraction there, because it beat Parker through to the wicketkeeper Andrews. Not a lot of forward movement there from Parker towards us here. Just watch that one from the crease, and now he stands up there at the top end just admiring the field. He's looking at that, and there is a gap through the square leg area. If he can just manage to play one away through there, as he drives this time a full ball on the stumps there from Allen. It doesn't, it goes straight back towards us here, and it's intercepted off the ground by May, and there is no run. So that's the end of the 11th over here. Tynedale 39 for no wicket, and Kant is on 34, Parker on 4, and the deficit now for Tynedale to win, and they'll have 39 overs to do it in is 131. So the two batsmen, Kant and Parker, just having a little chat up there. Good afternoon if you've just joined us here on Speaker Internet Radio for our 5 o'clock broadcast. It's It's a quiet afternoon at the minute. We're going to have a change of bowling here, and it looks like it's Milburn who's going to come on to bowl here. He's a right arm spin bowler. Yes, Milburn from the top end. He replaces Gibson up there, who's had no luck with the ball so far this afternoon. So an early turn to spin here, as it's going to be Milburn, the right armer. He's going to come in over the wicket from the top end there, and he's going to be bowling to Tom Cant. The sun's still not back here, still breezy out there. We've got a slip in place now. We've got a backward point, and a close mid-wicket, and quite a close extra cover as well, as Milburn bowls, and Cant just goes forward and pushes it back up the pitch, and it's picked up by the bowler, and there is no run. So we've got a slip backward point, an extra deep cover, an extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, a mid-wicket, as Milburn's in again, and Cant just plays off to the offside this time, and Milburn comes forward and picks up. We've got a short fine leg, and we've got a deep square leg now. So Cant, the right-hander, just faces up again. Here he comes, Milburn, and it's full, and it's hit out to the offside this time, quite straight, and Milburn's round to his left there, picks up, and there's no run. So still 39 for no wicket. 131 Tynedale need here. As in comes Milburn again and bowls, and Cant's forward this time and drives. And it was a full ball again, and he didn't quite get hold of that one. He hit it on the almost half volley length there, and it was fielded in at extra cover, and there's no run. Now here's Milburn again, past umpire Robertson, and he's hit that high, and there's a lot here. That might have gone for the lot. 6, is it? Yes, umpire Robertson there signals 6 over long on, and he's just over pitching here, but Milburn, the ball before, can't try to drive away. Now he saw that one coming, and it was about the same length, and he got rid of it as fast as it came. So 45 for no wicket now. Cant has moved on to 40, and the score has come down to 125. The deficit has come down to 125. Oh, a nice little turn around the corner there from Cant. A little sweep shot, but it wasn't a full sweep shot, just held the bat there, and he turned it round up the deep square leg for a single off the last ball of the over there from Milburn. So that takes it to 46 at the end of the 12th, and Tynedale now 124 from victory here in this match versus Shotley Bridge, 17th match of the season. And it looks like we're going to have a change of ball at this end. Yes, here comes Shotley's professional on, Tim May, and he's a right arm fast bowler, tall and slim, with a great bush of dark hair, curly. He's got his short sleeves on, but he seems to have some sort of support on his left elbow. His shirt tucked in. He too's got lime green soles and heels on his boots. He just does a little kick up with the legs. He's got his sun cream on as well. So he starts his run now from 22 yards. He goes in from, as in he goes now and bowls to Cant, who goes forward and drives and plays and misses outside the off stump through to Andrews, the wicketkeeper. I asked him before the match. I saw him out there with the tape measure. He was measuring his run up from this end, so he's going down the hill, the slight slope. The outfield here at Priors Flat isn't level by any stretch of the imagination, but slight downhill. The slight downhill from our end here, the clubhouse end, so we're behind long on at the moment. So 2 slips and a gully in for Cant. May charges up now over the wicket and bowls, and Cant again plays and misses outside the off stump. Beats him again, does May, so Cant just the radar slightly askew at the moment, as he just has a look round there up at the top of the crease. Baby Cant now, she's just fallen asleep across to our right hand side here in the clubhouse. It's just as well she didn't see them last 2 shots, as so we better just not be too noisy in here. She's having a afternoon nap. No such luxuries for her dad though, as in goes May now to Cant, and he's back in his crease playing this one square to point, and it's picked up quickly, and there is no run. It's still 46 for no wicket here at Tynedale. 124 to get the win. We're in the 13th over. We lost the sun about 10 minutes ago here, 10 or 15 minutes ago, and it hasn't come back. And we've got some thicker cloud coming over from the west. It's coming over the clubhouse here from behind, and heading away up towards Corbridge there, but Hexham at the moment, overcast, as they say. As in goes May again now. Tall figure runs in and Kant comes forward and more or less plays that shot with one hand, and it runs out up to cover point there where it's fielded, and some backing up to be done there as well, and a little slip in the middle there. I think that was Alan, was it, who slipped over at this end. He's wearing his sunglasses on the back of his hat anyway. Upside down as well. I don't know why they wear them upside down. They must stay on the hat better. Must stay on the back of the head better. But here's May again now. Bowls to Kant outside the off stump, and Kant has one look at that and leaves it two to the wicket keeper, and there's no run. And it stays 46 for no wicket in the 13th over of this one innings match here. And I suppose, because you never know these days, we're playing in whites with a red ball. You just never know these days what garb some of the matches are going to be played in. And here's May again now, about to start his run. He actually walks about 5 yards from the edge of the 5 or 6 yards from the edge of the circle, and he goes now and bowls, and Kant drives, and it's sliced that one up over extra cover, and it'll go for 4 up to the tennis courts. He'll be pleased to get that one away, and he's moved now to 45 with that shot at the end of the over, and that's the 50 up for Tynedale. The 50 up in 13 overs here for Tynedale. 50 for no wicket. Kant 45, and Parker 4 not out. He's had a lot less of the strike from what I can remember, but the deficit comes now down to 120 for Tynedale to win here this afternoon. And Shotley Bridge now, it's going to be Milburn again who's going to come around the wicket, and this will be Parker's first ball from the spinner this afternoon. We've got a fielder just heading out to the deep cover point boundary at the tennis courts. We've got a deep forward square leg in as well. Here he comes now, and Parker goes forward to this one and just guides it out there to the offside where it's fielded and at extra cover. So we've got one slip, a backward point, a deep cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, as Milburn's in now, and Parker edges, and it's gone between wicketkeeper and first slip there, and it's coming up towards the boundary. Will they get it? I think they fielded it. Kant's going to come down. No, they stop with 2 there. And Kant turned there. No, there was no edge involved in that. It was a bye as signalled by the umpire there. So Andrews and first slip there. I think it's Hall in it. First slip missed that one. So 2 more to the total. 52 for no wicket now. And here's Milburn again now to Parker. Bowls, and Parker drives square, and this one's pierced the gap between backward point and deep cover point. It's picked up now at the tennis courts though, and thrown into this near end, and it's Parker who comes back for 2 of his own this time. And now the score moves to 54 for no wicket, and the deficit comes down to 116 for Tynedale to win. 14th over here. Here's Milburn again. Comes in around the wicket now to Parker, and he goes again forward, and he's beat the fielder at backward point there. May struggles to get up. He's in pursuit now. He slipped there. Parker's got 2. I think they'll go back. No, they'll settle for 2 there. And the score now has moved to 56 for no wicket. Parker's moved to 8. And now we're changing the field here. We've got backward square leg coming out, and he's going across into the gully. So we've got a deepish gully and a deep backward point as well, and 1 slip. Just having a look. Now we've got a change of ball, have we? No. I think there's one of the balls that must have got missing before has been brought on, and the other one's gone back to the umpire there. So that was thrown on from the popular side across to the right here. the Kingsgate Terrace side of the ground, as in comes Melbourne again to Parker, and he's turned this one round, and that may have hit his thigh pad. It's racing up here towards the fine leg boundary. It's not going to make it though. They've got two so far. Will they come back? They're going to run the throw here. Yes, they get back safely enough to Canton Parker, and can't his face was in a bit of a had it scrunched up there. Maybe he just felt a little twinge as he came through, but they get three runs anyway, and that did leg bye signalled by the umpire there. So 59 for no wicket now, and it's 111 now to win for Tynedale as cants forward and plays out to the leg side this time, and that's the end of the over. So there we go. Tynedale finished that one. 14 overs gone now. Tynedale needing 170 to win. Still require 111. They're 59 for no wicket. Cant 45 not out. Parker 8 not out. There's been 14 overs played so far, and for now we're going to have a short 15-minute break here, and we'll be back a short 20-minute break, I beg your pardon, here, and we'll be back at 6 o'clock with our next broadcast here to take you through the rest and the final stages of this match here at Priors Flat this afternoon. But for now I'll leave you with Tynedale needing 111 to win, with May to take up the attack. Speak to you again at 6 o'clock.